Hello, I'm Amber and welcome back to my pregnancy fitness video diaries. And today at 21 weeks I'm going to show you a really good mobility drill. Probably something I should have done earlier, but better late than never. This is the mobility drill I'm going to show you is something firstly that I recommend for all my clients. You know, this is a basic drill I go through whether it's at one of my boot camps, with my one-to-one clients, whoever I'm working with. I think getting the body ready to move is a really good idea. So we work head to toe, just getting everything ready to move, and this is something that you should be doing ahead of any workout, no matter how small a workout you're doing during your pregnancy, before you do any of those big moves. So whether we're squatting, lunging, pushing, pulling, all those moves we should be incorporating to keep the body and the posture good during pregnancy. You want to mobilise first. Don't listen to anybody who says you shouldn't be stretching, you shouldn't be over-mobilising because your body's hypermobile during pregnancy. More on that at a later date, but the fact is your body needs to be ready to move and you do need to release tightness and tension rather than going straight into a deadlift. So as much as doing those lovely deadlifts and your squats and those rows to really work this upper back and get those glutes working, as much as that's all important, you don't want to do it from cold and from standing. We need to mobilise first. I should also add that with one-to-one clients, and certainly during your pregnancy, there are some extra things on top of this mobility drill that might be useful. So at a later point, I am going to shoot a separate video about some soft tissue release techniques, some of which you will be able to do on yourself, and I'll show you them as a more specific kind of release for typical tight areas. So piriformis, the muscle right here in your butt, is often very tight, and I'll show you some releases for that at a later point. But for today, it's just a standard mobility drill. Please do incorporate this before you work out, and even if you're watching this as somebody in the postnatal period or not at all pregnant or postnatal, this is a great drill. And I'll do it in real time so you can do it with me and refer to this video anytime you need a reminder. So as I say, the best way to remember this when you're trying to do it on your own is that you are looking to work from the head all the way through the body, just mobilising all the big joints. So we will start with the head, and with this it's just about getting the neck working. So I will do my best to talk as I do this, but I always start, the posture should be upright, knees ever so slightly bent, they shouldn't be locked out, feet firmly on the floor, and you're just moving your ear down to the shoulder. What you shouldn't be doing is moving the whole body. This is just literally getting the neck moving. And then you want to go up and down, so look right up and right down. Good. And then the same thing left and right. Turning the head side to side. And that's just to get the neck moving really nicely. Then we want to go into some big shoulder rolls. So pulling the shoulders back, this opens up the chest. It's a really nice move. And you can also then do that coming forwards and start to work the arms. Good. Now as a continuation of this, I like to do rounding and then retracting, and I'll show you this sideways. You'll notice I am a good example of a bad rotation that's happened here. My hands naturally sit slightly forwards. Ideally my hands should sit here at a relaxed angle, but they don't. If I relax, my hands come forwards. So I really need to work on opening up and then rounding. And we just extend here. So I'm going to do this for a moment without talking, so my head is straight. And I'm exhaling and coming up. And it's all about this rotation of the hands that you can see I'm doing, coming from here and then opening up and feeling my mid-back working. Okay, so that's a great one to do a few times. From there, we then want to do some nice straightforward circles of the arm. Always try to keep the hand as close to the body and brush past the ear. You don't want to just be doing willy-nilly circles there. Good, and especially if you do sit at a desk, you'll find you're probably quite crunchy through that shoulder, and then you want to come the other way, reaching up and over. Good, and then we'll do the same, coming this way, reaching up and back, And again, I'm trying to keep that arm close to my body in both directions. Okay, so that's a lovely one. And then just a little bit of rotation is good. So just allowing the whole body to twist. And you'll notice that my head, my shoulders, my chest are all turning. I'm not doing this. My whole body is moving around. And you can actually allow the hands to wrap around the body. Good. Okay. And then we want to come to move the pelvis area and loosen up the lower back. So I like to do these lovely hip circles here. And you can really exaggerate that. If I show you from the side, push the bum back. That starts to warm up those hamstrings as well. So really big circles coming round. That's good. And then go around the other way. Lovely. And that just gets, as I say, the lower back and the pelvis all really warmed up. The other thing you can do here is some little pelvic tilts. So just pushing the hips back, tilting the pelvis under. And I like to do this a few times. Again, it rocks that lower back. And you can do this side to side, always just with a little bit of softening in the knees. You can do this on all fours as well, just rocking. But if you want to be standing, it's nice to stay firmly planted on the floor. Okay, and then from there, just bringing your heels off the floor. So rocking up and down on your tiptoes. Just coming up and down there. Really try and flex those feet as much as possible. You won't be able to hear it on the video, but my ankles are cracking quite a lot. So it's really good to get all that tension out, get the big toe moving. That loosens up the whole chain in the body. Good. And then also not forgetting the extremities of the arms as well. Give the wrists a roll round, especially if you're going to be doing any work that's pressing, such as press-ups. It's good to make sure the wrists are nice and mobile, or if we're going to come down onto your hands and knees. And then also, because we do want to do lots of work to work our glutes, we really want to get the inner and outer thigh loosened up. So taking your feet much wider than your hips, and you just want to come from side to side. And say, anybody watching this who's been to any of my group sessions will know we always work through these when we start a session. And you can add a little bit of a reach. This again depends on the size of your bump. You can do this right up through your pregnancy. Always mobilise, but you might find if you have a very big bump, you're not going to be reaching down. And if you do have any pelvic girdle pain, chances are you'll find taking your feet apart is a little bit painful. So obviously, don't do this if there's any pain caused, okay? This should all feel comfortable. It should feel like you are releasing everything. And then if you do have any tension in the front of your legs, it can be a good idea just to come and stretch out the front of the thigh. Hold on as I am with my hand here if you need a bit of extra balance. Just to release the tension through the front of the thighs. And again, earlier on in your pregnancy, and those of you who don't have a big bump, you can do this lying down, just bringing the heel up to the bum. And again, sometimes you might find that just hugging the knee up to the chest a few times on each side is a nice way to loosen those hips. Good. Perfect. And that pretty much completes the mobility drill. So please do that. As I say, just think about it from top to toe. Work through the neck, shoulders, torso, hips, the thighs, the ankles, the wrists. Get everything moving. Then you'll be ready to go and grab your equipment, or whether even if you're just doing a body weight workout, but then we should be ready to go into some nice big squats. And you can, as part of your mobility, do a few little body weight squats if you're going to be training with weights or a bit of extra resistance. It's a good idea just to prep the body. You can add in a bend to extend there, and just to show you sideways on, come down, reach up, and as I come up, squeezing my bum. It will depend on the workout you're doing as to how much mobilisation you need to do, but please work through those before you attempt your workout, and then you'll feel good, your body will feel ready, and any tension across here and in the hips and the ankles will be released. Okay, so good luck with that. Follow that ahead of your workouts, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye for now.